Hey guys, what's up? I am Matt Loverstein. Welcome to another Ask Matt Q&A session. I'll give it a few minutes as per usual to let you guys get in here so we can get some questions going. If you're in here now, get your questions ready. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip a few minutes so you can just jump to the good stuff. I'm just going to be killing the next 1 or 2 minutes as people show up. Anybody in here, let me know that we're good in the comments. You guys see me? Okay, cool. We are on. How's everybody doing? Cool. Everybody here now, make sure you hit the like button. Really does make a big difference, helps this get out there. My only ask ever really for you guys that appreciate this is just like help me spread the word, like tell your entrepreneurial friends, hit the like button, leave comments, share it on Facebook, do all those things. Really makes a big difference. So that is the one thing that you guys could give me back in return. I'd be super appreciative of that. What else is going on? Not much. I mean, I'm just gonna wait for a few people to get in here, seeing the comments start to roll in. Man, I love that camera setup. Yeah, I set it up really. Oh crap! I forgot to change the battery. Not sure if you guys can hear me, but what I was saying is that I set this up super quickly. I was in the middle of something. One sec, hold on, I'll fix it. What's up? Sorry about that. What I was literally in the middle of saying was that I set up this, I got this set up like super quickly this time because I was in the middle of something. Forgot to swap in the fresh battery. Are we still good? Pay your power bill. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that minor hiccup. I set up the setup so quickly. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's just jump into it. I know you have questions ready, so start dropping them in. I'm going to do my best to catch up. If I get too flooded, I'm just going to jump to the current questions. So it's possible that I could skip some because I don't want to end up being like, 20 minutes behind on the questions. So I'm going to do my best, and then if I get flooded, I'm just going to jump to whatever is most recent. So keep them coming. Okay, first question. Matt, any advice on naming when getting a business license? I'm in retail arbitrage now, and my goal is to create a brand soon. Not sure which niche. So what I would say to you is that your LLC name, which I would say the best business structure for you is an LLC for any of you. Really, it doesn't really matter what your broad LLC name is. That does not even need to be public to your customers, or if it is, it doesn't have to be your brand name. So I would set up some sort of broad LLC that can cover multiple brand names that you may start over time in the future. And so you can operate other businesses under that broad LLC, but the LLC will have you covered, legally, business-wise. That's what you will be operating as, is the LLC. Do we collect sales tax from customers, or does Amazon do it for us? So sort of both. It's a little bit confusing. So you end up getting the sales tax and you have to remit it to the states that you choose to collect for, but Amazon does charge the customer. So meaning the customer pays it on the Amazon order when they check out, but that money goes to you as the seller. So you have to keep that money and remit it to the state government when it is due. Let me know if that answered that question for you. What is your average percent on returns? I assume you mean how many people return the product. I don't even know my average. It varies by product. I would say most of them are probably 2 to 3%, if I were to guess, is fairly typical. You have problems if it gets up into like the 10% range. What are the best categories to sell in? So I personally, I'm really just in the broad open categories. I haven't really gone down the gated category route. That said, I've seen every category work. So I don't like to tell people, look at this category, don't look at that category. Really, it depends on the particular product opportunity more than what category it's in. So that said, office, patio, home, kitchen, sports, outdoors, those are like easy, open, nice to deal with categories. That said, if you want to get into skin products, that's a whole nother thing. You have to go down that route. It's more complicated, but doable. I'm sure there are opportunities in all those categories. The only ones, you're not going to go into books. Musical instruments might not have much for you. But other than that, I wouldn't think about I wouldn't decide on the category. Like that's the wrong way of thinking about it. Look for the product opportunity, and then whatever category, arts and crafts, whatever it's in, if it makes sense, it makes sense. How exactly do you forecast your inventory? When to buy more and how much? So I could probably be more structured about that, more scientific about it. But the reason that I'm not is because there's so much fluctuation. So, there's a lot of software out there. I personally don't use a forecasting software because I don't know, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but are they really smart enough to calculate out the fluctuations throughout the year? I could look at my past 60 days of sales and order accordingly. But what if I know that this product is super hot in summer or sells 10x in Christmas or doesn't sell at all in January? So you kind of just have to use your own best judgment, which is really that's really the way I do it. It's just using my best judgment. How much have you made in January 2018 so far? I don't even know. I would have to check my sales. I don't check it that intensely as I used to. I used to be refreshing. Now, it's just rolling along. So I don't even know my exact numbers right now. My supplier is going to be off for Chinese New Year and won't have inventory for 2 months. What do I do? Are you sure it's 2 months? Because that is really weird. It should be about a 2 to 3 week delay on what it would have already been. So if it was already going to be 45 days and now they're telling you it's 2 months, it is what it is. If they're telling you that they're going to be gone for 2 months, then that's actually very strange and unusual. So I would try to talk to them about that. Usually they're just gone for a few weeks and it's just going to set you back a few weeks. So, but of course there's already production time. There's already shipping time. So you've got to factor that in. Can we include an ebook with our product? Yes, you can. I personally have not ever done that method. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think ebooks, I just don't like ebooks. I don't know. I think it's just a cheap throwaway thing. Now, if it makes sense for your product and you can argue that, all power to you to go ahead and do that. It's just not really my thing. Getting into pretty competitive category, the concern I have is how will I optimize, rank, and market the products? Do you have a blueprint of some sort? Sure. It's going to vary based on every opportunity because, the obvious answer here is if you're going into something more competitive, you're going to have to do more to stand out. So, it's all a spectrum. So maybe you don't want to go into something where you have to do more to stand out. I personally do both. I do ones where I have to market very aggressively, where I have to invest a lot of money, where I have to customize my product more because I'm dealing with a big opportunity with a lot of competition. On the other hand, I have products that I throw them up because they have 2 competitors and I know that it's fairly easy to just jump right in. So, make your choice according to what you're actually trying to accomplish. When will the course be open? Yeah, I'm not giving official info on that as of yet, but I think everybody kind of senses that I'm working on something really cool. It's, I'll say more later, but I really am putting a ridiculous amount of effort into making something that is beyond what anybody would expect. Matt, one of my competitors has a lot of reviews because his listing was for another product and he changed his product twice in the same listing, so reviews added up. Is this allowed by Amazon? No, that should not be allowed. If it was a slight variation, like just a different style, the same, could be okay if it's a variation. If they completely just switched it, that's pretty sketchy. I mean, look, are you going to be able to get Amazon to take down your competitor? Probably not. So I would just do the best to move forward on your own. You could try to reach out to Amazon and report a seller as doing something that is not allowed, see how that goes. Absolutely. Wow, already getting flooded quite a lot. Sammer just got a hijacker advice. Let's talk about that maybe ourselves. But my first question would be: are they selling Prime, or are they just shipping from overseas and they're not really hijacking? That usually just goes away on its own, I find. Real hijacking is when they actually have sent inventory into FBA. Now you've got a bit more of a problem. First step is you need to order that product, purchase that product yourself, and then you're gonna go ahead and there's two different areas where you need to submit violations to Amazon. What I would do all the time, even if you already know the process, get on chat with Amazon, because you want to have this all sort of documented. So just get on chat with them, tell them what's up, and sort of let them guide you. And maybe you might have to try it twice, because the first person you get might not even know what they're talking about. But I like to sort of have that documented. So I would do that. And then, yeah, so you need the test product. You need to be able to prove that it's different and that they're doing something illegitimate. And then Amazon will help you out. It's always a headache. It always takes a little longer than you would hope, but it happens. What do you use for hairstyling? Always looking sharp. Somebody posted that question in the Facebook group, so plug for the Facebook group. If you want to know how I do my hair, you got to get in the Facebook group. That's where I reveal all of my secrets. Taylor Smith, Matt, love the new camera. Thank you. It was not cheap, so I hope you guys appreciate it. Do I need to turn off PPC when doing giveaway and people search by specific keywords? No. I never turn off PPC for any reason. So I would not say so. Trevor, is the live feed taken on the new camera? Yep, this is my Sony a7S II, 16 to 35 millimeter 2.8, running into my Mac with the Camlink sort of video capture card and a Yeti microphone for those that are interested in that. What's the one mistake that you learned the most from? I made a video of my top 5 mistakes, which you may want to go back and check out. My one mistake that I learned the most from. You know, I don't know if this would even be helpful to you guys, but I would say it's more of a broader business thing, like as I grow into other businesses. And it's this concept that I've mentioned in my videos of that these opportunities, they take longer to play out than it seems. Like some people thought Amazon would have been dead 5 years ago. Some people thought cryptocurrency died in 2011. You know, drop shipping was dead 8 years ago. And now everyone's talking about it. So it's kind of this thought of that everything takes longer to play out than it initially seems. So when you're doing something and it works, you need to seriously go all in and attack it. Like I went as all in on Amazon as I could at the time. But obviously now looking back, had I got millions of dollars of investment, I could have blown this up massively. Because now I know looking back that it worked. Obviously, I didn't know that looking forward at the time. So it's not really useful advice, which is why I sort of said this might not be useful. But realizing that when something's working, you really need to attack it and go all in. And that it's not on a 1 month lifespan. Like these things take a long time to play out. YouTube too. Dude, if you had asked me is it too late to start a YouTube channel in 2010, I would have probably thought it was too late. But now I realize like a lot of these things just play out over really, really long time frames, and there's a lot of opportunity for a while. So when it's working, you seriously need to go 1000% on it. How is your houseplant doing? It's doing actually slightly better. So there will be a houseplant update video course. How I how I restored my houseplant. This is my new video. Do you do reverse ASINs on the top sellers in the niche? If so, what software do you use? All the software that I use is in the description link. Helium 10 is a suite of tools that does have that feature. I don't say that Helium 10 is a 100% necessary tool because I personally think that people get too caught up in this whole keyword stuff. Not to say it's useless. It's useful. I just think people take it a little too far. So it's not completely needed, but I like that tool because Helium 10 has there's 12 tools in there. So you'll find some uses for sure. If you're looking at a product, but there is kind of a similar one with a patent, how do you consider if it's okay to do the product? That's definitely an issue that the only people in the world that could confirm that for you would be some sort of patent attorney. Because there is nuance to patents, meaning like your question, meaning what aspect of this patent is actually the protectable piece? What do I need to change to not infringe on this patent? That is complicated stuff. It's going to vary by product, patent by patent, even attorney by attorney. They may give you different views on it. So that is, if there is an existing patent, you're probably going to want to talk to a patent attorney before you move forward with that. This is a long question. How do you rank? How do you optimize the listing? You rank by having sales. Yeah. So you need sales in some way. Now, how do you get sales? That's a longer conversation. How do you optimize the listing? I mean, these are really broad questions. So I'll just give you a quick thing is that it's this intangible thing, right? Your listing needs to look legit. I know that's not tactical, but that's honestly my, just you have to look at it like a customer. How does it come across to the customer? Is everything congruent? Does everything look professional? Do you have typos? Does your picture have a reflection of your face in the product? Just do professional stuff. Make your stuff look legitimate. And as obvious as that is, you'd be shocked that literally most people don't do that. And that is, in many cases, enough to stand out quite a lot. How many cups of bulletproof coffee do you have per day? Just one, typically. Matt, in your opinion, what is the most important part of a listing? I would definitely say photos. No doubt, for sure. And especially even just the first photo, because I still think that a lot of people don't even get past the first photo. I think that they just kind of look at the picture. Then I would say probably title, price. I mean, that might not be an obvious one to you because you don't really think about that as part of your listing. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's just kind of people just sort of glance and they're like, that's the product, that's the price. They very few people are going to be digging through every single detail. Sammer, is it laggy for anyone else or just me? I hope just you. Can you guys let me know if it's laggy for anybody? What? It's laggy?
Yeah.
No, why is it laggy? Sorry, guys. Freaking live stream stuff. Is it really bad? Sorry, I'm trying to test. This is a brief intermission. Seems fine.
It stops every 10 seconds for 2 seconds and then keeps going.
Dang it. Sorry, guys. Let me see.
Nice number 1 says, don't worry, it's because the quality's too good.
Yeah, I appreciate that you think it's because the quality's too good, but it was working last time.
Francis is on.
Francis, what do I do? Francis, please help. People are saying it's lagging. We'll run with it. What conference are you looking to attend next? I don't have any plans to at the moment. I haven't gone to really many, but I keep seeing Grant Cardone's freaking ads for the 10X conference, so that one's, yeah. Sorry, let me see what people are saying about the lag issue. Sorry. Perfect. Not lagging. No worries, Samurai. I want to make sure it's good. Even not just for this one, but I just want to make sure I have it down for, you know, the future ones. So I appreciate the comment. LOL, reflection of the face. Haven't seen that one. Yeah, dude. Maybe not their face, but, you know, like, there's a lot of that. Seriously. PPC between $30 and $50 would work, or so I would say, yeah, that's the range you want to start testing. Now your goal should be to spend more if it's profitable. So your goal should never be to spend less. Your goal should be to have profitable PPC, or PPC that is close to profitable and makes sense for you to keep running such that you're getting other sales elsewhere. Manual or auto? Both, but at least auto. Always auto, even if you do manual. Manual optional from the beginning. You should do it soon, but from the beginning, for sure, auto, even if you do manual. How do you go about shipping your inventory to FBA, express air, cargo air, or sea freight directly, or going through a warehouse? So, depends if you want to know what I do or what I might recommend to a beginner. Those are not always the same, which is why sometimes I don't always know how to answer these. What I personally do is I have a freight forwarder that has a US warehouse. That is key. I want my products, so I want my freight forwarder to get my products from the manufacturer into their US warehouse. That from there, I have them put on the labels to get it into Amazon and have it picked up from there. That's the way that I do it. That's the way that businesses at scale do it. Like when you're talking about multiple containers and things like that. From the beginning, Air Express is great. Maybe splitting air and sea. As far as the air cargo, I personally never use that because it still takes forever. Like I would just either go Air Express or sea. Like I don't mess with air cargo. I have before, but I don't like it. Cool. Catching up. Do you watch Billions? No, I do not. Sorry, looking for some solid questions. Have you ever had trouble getting approved to sell in a subcategory? No, I haven't been through those issues. Francis, you may have left the settings. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it's probably because I have the bit rate. Remember, we changed. We'll fix it. Stay with us, guys. We'll fix it next time. I hope it's not too bad this time. I'm still obviously learning all this stuff. Hope the quality is all right. Sammer says, Matt is in the next video. All right, you guys are going to go have to check out Sammer Brax's channel because I'm in there. Auto versus manual. We're talking about cars, right? Yeah, Tim. For sure, you got to go manual. I mean, auto is just... ugh. You know, as you're setting up your manual campaigns, you want to make sure you always are in third gear. And then, you know, something like that. It's not a secret project anymore. We know, Francis. Blew our cover, dude. Sorry, guys. This one's getting pretty casual. So gonna have the true fans in here. How many people do we have? I don't even have it open. Yeah, 55 people. Sweet. Thank you, 55, for being in here. Clearly, the true fans. The true fans being in a slightly more casual Q&A. Definitely some things not as planned. What did your friend do differently from you to scale to 6 million per year so quickly? Well, I think the false part of your question is that it was so quickly. He's been in this business for like 4 years, so it's never so quickly. He's ahead of my level because of a few things. He started before me by 6 or 12 months. But mainly is that you guys see me like pushing it to the edge in terms of cash flow and growth and stuff like that. He pushed past the edge. Like he didn't care about short-term profit at all. Still now. Like he takes his business very much, he invests down to the wire into his business, which is great for growth and scale. Like I tell you guys, I operate towards that end of the spectrum, but not 100%. His, like, you know, so he invests in people a lot. I mean, he has a huge team. That's been the main thing. He has way more overhead than I do by a long shot. I mean, he has like an office in New York. He has like, I think 7 or 8 employees in that New York office. He has 20 or so VAs in the Philippines. So, you know, it's a different game. You know, where do you fall on that spectrum? Do you just want a nice little cash flow business where you make your money? Or do you want to be scaling? Or do you want to seriously just go into the red to scale? Or somewhere anywhere in the middle, of course. But yeah, I think the key thing in that question is that it's never so quickly. It wasn't quick. You know, he did, I mean, I don't know his exact numbers, but he did probably, I don't know, I'm sure he did well under $1 million his first year. And then, you know, he probably had a year where he did 1 million, and then he probably had a year where he did 2 million, and then 4 million, and then 6 million. I think it was something like that. So let's see. Just ordered my samples with Chinese New Year production time and transit time. I won't be able to start selling until April. What should I be doing in the meantime? Yeah, that's a good question. You know, so you've just ordered your samples. So, I mean, you really just have to wait to be able to confirm if that's even a product you want to move forward with before you can really do too much else. You know, I would say you could start building out your listing, start building out a community of some kind, but not if you're not set on the product choice yet. Should you prepay duties and taxes for Air Express? Yes, if you're shipping directly into Amazon, then you really have to, because Amazon can't get hit with that bill, then they're going to have an issue with you. If you are, if you're shipping it like to your house for Air Express or something, then it doesn't matter. If you get that bill, I mean, whatever. Trying to find a few questions that are, you know, new ones. Can you make some content around strategies that were used prior to tools like Jungle Scout or Viral Launch came out? I firmly believe that the tools shouldn't be relied upon. I love that. I love that. I think you're probably asking that because you see that I agree with you. People just get so obsessed with the tools. There's a lot of pushing tools, and you know, there's a lot of like affiliate deals with tools. And sure, I have affiliate links for the tools that I do use, but pretty much no tool is required. Like, people get way too into the tools. So sure, there are some that will speed you up. I'm a fan of Jungle Scout. I use it. It does speed me up at this point, but geez, I found most of my products before I started using Jungle Scout. So yeah, there are those ways. I did make a video about, I believe it was called like how to do product, or how a 7-figure seller thinks about product research. It was more just like this high level stuff, right? But you know, you can absolutely do it. Where do I want to go with this? You know, like, so I mean, obviously calculating all the fees and stuff that the extension can do, you can do that manually. You can use Camel. You can use the Amazon fee calculator. You know, you can use the Jungle Scout free estimator to figure out the estimated sales. So that's the way of doing that all for free. Now, that is probably the most valuable piece of Jungle Scout, is because the extension is what, if you're going to pay for anything, you should pay for something like the Jungle Scout extension or whatever other variety of it that you want to pay for, because that is where you'll waste a lot of time. I mean, it'll save you a ton of time to just be able to like run that result rather than doing it manually on every single product. If you're talking more about like product discovery, like top of the funnel, like finding products, I still do most of that manually. Now we're talking more about the Jungle Scout web app. I do most of that by digging on Amazon. Like, go down and just click around for 100 years and look for things that are worthy of evaluating. But I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it, is like, you know, you don't just like have this magic thing and it spits out the product. You're going to look at a ton of products, and what matters is how you narrow it down. If you had 30K to invest in products, how would you split the money between products and reserve? How many products would you try to launch? You know, I think launching more than a couple at a time, it does get overwhelming. Like, you want to be able to focus your attention on getting it off the ground and rolling. So I really wouldn't do more than a couple at a time, even if you have 30K. I just think what will be different is that you can move forward a lot quicker, because you might be able to invest in your third product before you have surplus cash flow. Meaning you're reordering your first and your second product, but now you can do a third one just because you have money on reserve. So, you know, even if I had 30K, I'd probably still drop, like, you know, I'll give a broad range, but I'd probably drop 5 to 15K on my first, say, maybe 2 products, and then I would still just see from there. You know, there's no point in like just leveraging all of your cash and taking a risk like that, in my opinion. What happens if you make a mistake when inputting shipping information /UPC on Amazon? How can you make sure you do everything right? Make sure you're doing it right as you're doing it. That's what I would say. You know, don't put the wrong number of stuff in your shipping plans. It just, if you finalize all that, it's going to be a headache for sure. So I really just don't make those mistakes. Make sure you're not making a mistake as you're doing it. You know, don't just like click, 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 click. Make sure everything you're doing makes sense. I'm waiting for my first product from China. What do you suggest to do in the next 7 to 10 days before the first product launch? I would focus on, I mean, obviously there's the concept of building up audiences, having some sort of list. That is important, but I would actually focus more on your listing, because you need to have your listing ready to go such that you just start pushing PPC and you're off and on your way from the beginning. So make sure your listing is unlocked would be my main tip. If I'm selling a product in a market with quite a depth, if my packing and listing is on point, could I charge more for my product? If so, how much is too much? For sure. I mean, premium products exist in every market. You know, look at like Apple. I mean, it's like twice as much as whatever LG or I don't know, but like they make it perceived as worth it. So it's for sure possible. You know, I can't give like an exact number answer to this because it depends so much on the market. Is it a market that people are willing to pay for premium products? Then you could probably, you might be able to do double the price. You know, but typically like, you know, $5 or $10 more. Yeah, very doable. There's always a spread of price on every product. So I would look at what your competitors are doing and sort of base it off of that. But yeah, for sure you can tweak it. Question, please explain your product research in a more advanced way. Is there a sales to number of products ratio? Any other rules you use? I know they are negotiable sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the truth is it's so negotiable. It's more negotiable than anybody realizes. And this actually frustrates me a lot because every other person out there is telling you, you know, there has to be 10 on the page and this many reviews and this number of sales across 86 listings and, you know, no more than 73 reviews and like, you know, they have to be selling for at least 400 days. I don't know. Like the thing that we really need to talk about is it an opportunity? Does this make sense as a business? Can I make money? So what I'm really thinking about is less criteria based. That's just the truth. So, I mean, if you want me to make up numbers, I can do that. Because like I get this question a lot. That's why I'm not just talking to you specifically. I'm talking to everyone. I get this question a lot and everybody wants me to give very, very, very specific stuff. But that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. So I don't do that because that's not how you do it. It's such a balance of things. Like Like just think about it. What if there's an opportunity that it's a small market, there's only 2 competitors, but they're both doing well, and I can very easily just fit in there? What if there's a market that has 100 sellers, but 80 of them are doing well, and it's a multi-million-dollar a month market? What really matters is, can I fit in to this market? Can I just get a piece of this and be happy? Somewhere in the middle. You don't want to bank on being number 1. That's hard. But can I fit into this mix and be happy with the number of sales that I want? And I won't even give you a specific criteria there. I could, throw out some numbers, but like, I'll go for a product that I think can do $5,000 a month, but then I'll go for a product that I think can do $50,000 a month. It's all variable. What is your goal for that product? And I think this ties in. I think the reason that I get worked up on this one is because it ties into my whole broader thing that I talk about in this, which is everyone's telling you to find the one product that does X number per month. The way you build a sustainable business is not by having just one product. It's by having multiple products. So maybe you find one opportunity that's an easy one to just do $5,000 or $10,000 a month. And then you go for another opportunity that you really risk a lot of money and you do a lot of marketing, but you're playing in a market where you might have the potential to do $50,000 or $100,000 a month. Both could be great business opportunities, but it's a different game. So what game are you playing? What's your goal for that product? And is this an opportunity, and can I fit in here? That's what's way more important to me than, there's 5 on the front page with 36 reviews or whatever they're saying nowadays. I hope you guys liked that rant. Brandon, hit that like button, everyone. Yeah, please do hit the like button. If you're watching the replay, hit the subscribe button. There's a lot more of this to come, and there's a lot of great videos already up on the channel. Whew. How do you narrow down your PPC from broad to exact keywords? You can export that data directly from Amazon. It's in the reports. I forget the exact name of it, but you just go into there, and there's a way to like export your advertising data. And then what you can do is you can see the exact keywords that came from the automatic campaign and which ones actually led to sales. Take those, trim them off, put them into a manual campaign. Also, have you tried to source in the USA? I understand China is not as competitive as it used to be, and found it. Yeah, I mean, if you can source in the US, that's great. It varies by product. I actually do have a product line that is sourced in the US. And I have a product line that is sourced in a different country as well, not China or the US. So, it's just going to depend on where these products come from. Most are China, which is why we speak of China the most. But if you find that your product that you're considering is only manufactured in Vietnam, or only manufactured in the US, or only manufactured in Taiwan or Thailand or Germany, then that's where you're going to look. So yeah, I mean, it does not have to be China by any means. Finding some better ones. What courses do you recommend? I didn't take one, so I can't vouch for any. I haven't seen them. I can only go off of what people come to me with questions, and they say that they've taken them and what they thought. But I can't vouch for an existing one because I haven't personally been through it. If you found a product and numbers look good, should you just copy the same product and brand it your way, or completely differentiate? That's actually a really good question. I think it's a better question than is even immediately obvious, because what you need to realize is the more you differentiate, the more risk you're actually taking. So it just changes the risk reward profile. Differentiating is great because if it works, now you control your product. You have this differentiation, and that's your competitive edge. But the risk you're taking is, what if nobody wants my differentiation? So it's a balance. I think it depends on how much competition is there. If you feel like you can really just jump in with the same product, then maybe just a minor differentiation. If it's a more competitive market with a lot of sellers already, then I would think more serious differentiation. Sammer, can you talk about cash flow and paying yourself, please? Yeah. I mean, cash flow is the hardest thing. And I'll preface this by saying, like, I don't think I'm an expert in this, but I don't know really who is, but it's probably the hardest part of an inventory business because the better you do, the more cash is needed to tie up. So I use Amazon Lending, which is Amazon's own loan platform, which is invite only. So that doesn't help if you're not in it. But I use that loan to fund inventory. If you're at the beginning, not financial advice, but use, if you can leverage credit in some way, a line of credit. I don't know, maybe you have a house and you can take out I don't even know, house mortgage. What are those things called? House. You can like take a loan against the equity in your house. I don't know anything about houses, but it depends on your risk tolerance. But if you're doing something that's working, then I would try to take money from anywhere, because there's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt is debt that you can take and you can make a higher ROI on it. Like, do I care about, like, does it matter if you're going to pay 10% over the year on interest if you can flip that 100K loan into like 300K by the end of the year? Then that's good debt. So would I take out debt to start a business? Probably not. I think that would be risky and bad advice. But when you have something that is proven, then I think you should take cash from wherever you can, up to your risk tolerance. And as far as paying yourself, I would only do that once there's money, whether it's out of necessity or there's just surplus money. Like, you can't throw money at growth in an obvious way. You don't want to just throw your money down the toilet ever. But if there's nowhere for you to effectively put your money to clearly expand your growth, then at that point, maybe you'll pay yourself a little bit more. For me, I started, when did I first pay myself? I probably first paid myself about, it was probably a year and a half or so into my business. And actually, I'm trying to remember if I paid myself before I got set up as an S corporation or if it was around the same time. Because when you get set up as an S corporation taxation, you then have to pay yourself. It's just like legal. Like you have to have a salary, a reasonable salary as an S corp taxation. So I think it was basically that same time where I started paying myself. And then you can also write yourself distribution checks, of course. But, that's kind of I hope that helped at all. Just subscribe, man. Course will come later. Best out there. Can you trust people who share their success story from a course and post their affiliate link? I mean, I think there's a lot of untrustworthy stuff out there. You have to vet every single person, right? Like, why are you guys watching me? I mean, hopefully it's because you have sifted through what's out there and determined that I'm a trustworthy source. So, can you trust everything you see on YouTube? Of course not. Of course not. But, you've got to use your own lens to determine, is this person legit? I like to think that people tell the truth, but I don't know. Especially if people are hard pushing affiliate stuff all the time. I guess that would be a really good tip. If they're always pushing something as an affiliate, you can't trust what they're saying. But if they're like only an affiliate for stuff that they've clearly used and they're clearly passionate about, then they're probably it's like what I do. Like, sure, I have links to stuff that I use. That's because I use it anyways. And this is stuff that I've been using, and people ask me what I use, so I tell them what I use. I might as well get an affiliate commission. But I'm not going to just be like you'll never see me just like getting, like, I get emails like daily. Well, maybe not daily. That's probably exaggerating a little bit. But, people telling me they have a new software. Or I actually got an email for an ICO, like for crypto, saying that I was like an ICO influencer and they wanted to pay me to like talk about some coin. And I'm like, obviously I'm not going to do stuff like that. So if you're sensing that the person you're following is just being an affiliate, like they're just trying to be an affiliate for whatever has a good affiliate commission, it's probably not trustworthy at all. If it's somebody just talking about the stuff that they are talking about and they actually use it, then hopefully that person is trustworthy. But I mean, I can't tell you that for sure. Well, I got buried again. I talked too much.
You got a hater.
I got a hater?
Can you block him? He's saying a lot of stuff.
Let me try to find it.
He's distracted.
Brief intermission.
He's distracted. His name is Meow.
Okay, I see it. Meow. Oh, it's because I'm logged into the... I can't even do it because I'm using this from a different account. Anyways, well, we're going to wrap up in a minute anyways. It's because I look at the stream from another account so I can be in the chat from my phone. Whatever. You guys can ignore him. I don't even know what he originally said. Somebody can let me know later. You don't have to tell me now. Okay. Yeah, this guy is saying a lot, actually. Yeah. Brief intermission. My laptop's almost about to die anyways. Hold on just a second. Okay. And we're back. Thanks for bearing with me. I think he flooded out all the good questions. Let's do a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up before, because I don't have my laptop on power here. So we will wrap it up shortly. Do I need to turn off PPC when doing giveaways? I answered your question earlier, so go back and watch the replay. Matt sounds quite genuine and legit with great contact. Yeah, I appreciate that. I use his affiliate links as a way of saying thanks. Yeah, see, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's like, if you guys are going to buy these tools anyways, like, you might as well give me a few bucks. It's like the same price. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. Somebody's getting that affiliate commission. So if I can help bring value and then you guys can use a link, like, that's not like me just like shilling stuff and being like, hey, there's this new software, like, you guys should all go get it, just so I can get commission. And then next week I'm pushing some other software that conflicts with this software. Like, everyone's asking me about the new viral launch tool that competes with Jungle Scout. And the truth is, it's like, I already have Jungle Scout. I don't know. I don't really have much reason to test it. I'm sure it's good, but I don't know if, like, why, I don't know if I'm going to spend the time to actually test it. Jungle Scout is established, working, all of that. I don't know if I'm sure it's good, but I don't really care to, like, try just another, like, copycat type of tool. I don't know. It's just not a good use of my time to go, like, try another tool. Again, that ties into something we said earlier, which is, like, the tools are just whatever. What just happened? Did it cut off?
No. You're still talking.
Oh. Sorry, something weird just happened. I guess I'm still alive. All right, anyways, we'll wrap up in just a sec. Did the corporate tax go down to 21%? I think so, something like that. I don't really know. Your girlfriend definitely knows what he said by the giggles. Yeah, for sure. Are you using an accountant to get set up your S-Corp? Yes, exactly. I use a CPA for everything, and I would set that up if you're making over 100,000 profit. Are you a fan of the Audi R8? I like the R8. Probably not going to get one. It just doesn't excite me enough. It's just not... I don't know. It's just kind of blah.
Did you see Kevin's comment?
No, I didn't see Kevin's comment.
Gallardo or GT4?
He asked that? Oh, yeah. Let me ask you car guys here. What should my next car be? Either... Should it be... So it's actually complicated. I love all cars, but I love Porsche. You guys know that. I would love to get like a Cayman GT4. Do I get that, or do I go a little more YouTube? Do I get a Lamborghini Gallardo with the 6-speed manual, the gated manual transmission? Which would you think would be cooler for me to get? A gated Gallardo or a Porsche Cayman GT4? Oh shit, I got $5. I can, dude. See, I told you guys YouTube would pay off. Oh my god, thank you, dude. See, this is what I invested in. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Wait, thanks for everything, Matt. Great stuff, dude. Thank you. Thank you for the $5. Anybody else want to throw me some cash? I'll take it. Wait, my phone is tripping balls. Awesome, dude. That's I think that's the first time I've had that happen. So that's cool. I forgot you could even do that in YouTube. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. We've got 5% left, so I gotta wrap this up pretty soon. No Lambo. Okay.
Wait, now it's stopped.
Don't go YouTube. Get the Lambo Urus. Lambo, GT4, Dude Glow, McLaren. Yeah, ultimately I want McLaren. Ultimately I want a McLaren and a Porsche. But I'm not going to buy a McLaren yet. That's a little bit higher of an investment. You know, something like a Gallardo or a GT4, honestly not that big of an investment. And I don't mean to sound cocky in that. The reason that it's not that big of an investment is because if you play these things right, the true cost is not that high. I'll talk more about that the same way I talked about watches. There's a difference between true cost and retail price. So, yeah. 570S, yes. 570S is what I would like, but not quite yet. I mean, that's still up there. We'll see. I wanted to get something like by now, honestly. So I'm kind of just like delaying. I don't know. Centenario. Dude, I got a mini Centenario right there. I'm not sure you can see that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hit the like button. If you're watching the replay, subscribe, get in the Facebook group, do all the things that are in the description, click all the stuff, just click everything, follow all the links, buy all the affiliate stuff, get in the Facebook group, hit me up everywhere, follow me on Instagram, trying to get more serious on Instagram, at Matt Loberstein. So, yeah.
You do lives there too.
Yeah, I'm doing lives on Instagram now some of the time, so catch